How you doing today? DeAndre Smith here, and I am excited to show you the ins and outs on percent. I don't want to waste any more time talking or anything like that, so without further ado, let's go to the board. This lesson is going to cover three topic areas. The first area we're going to cover is percent basics. Next, we're going to cover one sentence word problems. And then last, we're going to cover some general percent problems. Okay, when you hear the word percent usually means per hundred. Cent as in meaning 100 pennies make up $1. So per cent means per hundred. So whenever a number is mentioned as a percent, we can automatically replace it with that number over 100 or 0 point that number. Alright, so for example, if I said 30%, 30% means 30 over 100 or 0.30. If I said 75%, 75% will be the same as 75 over 100 or 0.75. Now, a lot of people usually get this one confused. 5%. 5% is the same as 5 over 100, but as a decimal is written as 0.05. So those single percentages like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all of those percentages are written as 0.0 that number as a decimal. Once we get to those one sentence word problems, I want you to be able to recognize some keywords that you will see throughout the course of this lesson. So those keywords are what number. What number implies that we have a missing element or a missing variable. So usually that is indicated by the letter X. What percent? What percent indicates that we are missing some type of percent. So how we would indicate what percent, we will put X over 100. Is is a pure indicator that means equal. So whenever we see is, we will replace is with an equal sign. Of is another way of saying multiplication. So whenever you see the word of, you can replace that with a multiplication sign. And lastly, rate. Rate is just another way of saying percent. So in solving this problem, 29 is what percent of 72? We will utilize our knowledge of keywords along with the multiplication principle or cross multiplication in order to solve for our missing element. So if we are to use the keywords, we will write 29 is, which means equals, what percent, which is X over 100, of, which is multiplication, and 72. Now if I multiply my X and 72, in my next step I get 29 is equal to 72X over 100. At this point, I can now use cross multiplication. Now lastly, I'll divide 72 by both sides so I can get my final answer. So now my answer is 40.28%. In this example, we're going to find what number is 13% of 72. So once again, we'll utilize our keywords and also cross multiplication to solve this problem. What number means the variable X. Is means equal. 13% is the same as 13 over 100 Of means multiplication in 72. In this problem, we will combine the 72 and 13. So we'll do 13 times 72. And 936 over 100 is 9.36. So our missing number is 9.36. In this example, I'm going to solve 29 is 13% of what number? So once again, we'll use our keywords. So we have 29 is, which is equals 13%. So this time in solving this problem, instead of using the fractional notation, I'm using the decimal notation. So I'll use 0.13. Of means multiplication, and what number is x? Now since I use the decimal notation, it will be easier to use the multiplication principle. So now I'm going to divide both sides by 0.13. And now my missing number x is 223.08. Now in this section, we're going to solve general percent problems. Now in general percent problems, in reading a problem, sometimes the one sentence word problem is not as straightforward as it was given in the previous examples. So in solving general percent problems, we're going to first recognize the missing element. Second, we are going to try to figure out the one sentence word problem within the paragraph that's given. And then last, we're going to solve using the cross multiplication or the multiplication principle. Okay, this problem reads, a certain computer manufacturer claims that 95% of its computers are free of defects. If 51,091 computers are found to be free of defects in a year's production, what is the total number of computers manufactured for that year? So before solving this problem, we must first understand that the 5% of the total computers manufactured is what's missing. So we have to come up with a one sentence word problem to explain this relationship. So the one sentence word problem would be 51,091 is 95% of what number? Now we solve this by using the same things that we learned from the prior section. So we will write 51,091 equals 0.95x. Once we do that, we can divide both sides by 0.95 to get our answer x. So our answer is 53,780. In our next example, it reads, Francis left a 21% tip on a meal. Including the tip, its cost was $49.61. What was the cost of the meal before the tip? Now, before solving this problem, we must first understand exactly what did Francis pay. Now, Francis paid the whole bill, plus she paid the 21% tip. So she paid 100% of the bill and an additional 21%. So therefore, our one sentence word problem that we could make out of this question is 121% of what number is $49.61. Again, we can solve this as we've been solving throughout the course of this lesson. So we'll say 121 or 1.21 times some number x is equal to 49.61. We can divide both sides by 1.21 to get our answer for x. And finally, we get that x is equal to $41. Hi. I hope that this lesson was able to provide some type of foundation in order to give you an approach to solving problems with percents. Always, if you need any additional information or any additional problems, feel free to contact me via email or call me. Thanks a lot.